Hi there, Flat Cap Chef, and today I'm going to show you how to make Thai fish cakes. You're going to use the Thai paste that I've got another video out. Just check that one out. And if you don't have that, that's fine. I would suggest you use per person, so that's about 100 grams per person, either a red chili or a green chili as a substitute, or you can buy green or red chili curry paste. So you could add that as well on the basis of about a tablespoon per portion. So for this recipe you'd use 4 tablespoons. However, let's assume that you don't have those things, don't have these issues. So I've got my white fish. I've got about 400 grams of white fish. Any white fish will do. I've got my processor here. I'm going to drop this fish in there, and then all I'm doing is cutting it down the middle, chopping it up because we're going to blitz it. So we're just kind of shredding it into cubes at this point. So that's my fish, got one more bit to go in there. I've then got some cafe lime leaves. If you don't have those, then it's easy enough. All you need is a lime and then a little grater, and you grate 2 limes for this recipe. So that's about half a lime per portion, instead of the cafe lime. I've then got the paste that I made earlier. I've got some fish sauce and I've got some sugar. So what we're going to do, and there isn't enough room here to do all the fish in one go, so I'm going to leave this piece for a moment, is I'm just going to put the lid on, I'm going to pulse it and blitz it till we get a paste. Okay, and then I'll be back. Okay, so that's now blended to a paste. I'm now going to add my cafe lime leaves. There we go. A lovely zingy limey flavour. Since I started it, for a little bit of extra, I'm going to zest a bit more of this. There we go. I'm then going to add a teaspoon of sugar, and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. 1, 2, and then I'm going to add 3 of my paste. Now pretty full, so what I find I do is as I blend it, I will give it a little shake around to make sure we get it all in there. There we go. And then I will squish it down together, make sure it goes, and then we'll be back after a little bit more blending. Okay, so that's now done, and I've turned it out into a bowl. And I've now got some green beans. I've got about 50 grams of green beans here. And you can use any form of bean really. And all I've done is I've just chopped them in half that way, quartered them that way, and then just chop them into pieces. I'm now going to add those in to here. Let's put them out of the way. Gives a little bit more structure to your fish cake. And it's in with the hands, clean hands obviously. And you're going to mix together the beans and the mixture. You want it to give a little bit of a firmer texture. So what we do with that is then we roll it into a little bit of a ball, and then throw it outside the bowl. Amazingly, it firms it up. And that now can be formed into a little fish cake sized patty. And we'll put it to one side, and I'll make the rest of them, and then I'll pop it in the fridge for about 10-20 minutes just to firm them up, and then they'll go into a frying pan, so we'll be back. Okay, so they've been chilling in the fridge for about 15-20 minutes. You can leave them as long as you want, really. And now I've got a frying pan, heated up the oil. So it's a shallow fry, just any oil you want, vegetable oil, light oil. It's about, no more than a couple of millimetres deep. I'm going to cook them for about 10 minutes. I'm going to turn them fairly regularly. So I chop them in. There we go. So a little tip if you're cooking things and you're not quite sure which one to put in first. I always start with mine at 12 o'clock and then go around in a clockwise direction, and then I put the last one in the middle. So I now know when I'm turning, I start with the one that's at 12 o'clock and just turn them clockwise. So I'm going to cook these now. I think we're probably just going to start to get a little bit of colour. Yeah, you see, look. We're getting a little bit of colour already on there. And we'll do that, as I say, for about 10 minutes. I'm going to turn them fairly regularly to make sure they're nice and even, and then I'll be back. Okay, so just a little tip while you're cooking them. Once they've got colour on all the sides, you might find that there's edges that perhaps don't have the level of colour that you want, like this. So if you take two and you just use them like a little wedge, then you can actually hold it on the edge and you get beautiful colour all on those edges as well. And these are almost cooked, so I'll be back in a second. Okay, so these are now cooked, and I've just put them on a little bit of kitchen towel just to drain them off, make sure they're beautifully soft, which they will be. Serve these with maybe a rocket salad, with rice, just as a little starter, just with a side of sweet chilli dipping sauce. They'll be delicious. If you want to see more, just subscribe to the channel. It's easy, just subscribe and it's free, and I'll send you updates automatically when I post, which is normally 2-3 times a week. So enjoy the Thai fish cakes, and we'll be back soon with something else for you.